Graham here, living the dream on Saturday the 13th of July 2024, and as you can see, the beautiful Waikiki beach is still behind us here in Honolulu. But this episode is all about our trip report on board Hawaiian Airlines. I think it's going to be a 717 from Honolulu across to Kona on the Big Island. So come and join Fiona and I as we experience our first island hopping flight on board Hawaiian Airlines.
Hi, I'm Graham, and this is my wife Fiona, and we have always had a work hard, play hard philosophy. From London to New York, and of course the Caribbean, we live our dream through travel. And of course, the odd cocktail. And here on YouTube, we create our memories while living our dream. So come and join us as we share our memories with you. In the last episode, Fiona and I were just leaving the Hilton Waikiki beach, and we were now on board our Uber bound for Honolulu International Airport. The journey between downtown Honolulu and the airport takes approximately 25 to 30 minutes by car. From memory, our Uber cost somewhere between $23 and $25 US, but please remember guys that this can vary depending on the time of day and therefore how busy the Ubers are. And as you can see guys, the journey by freeway from downtown Honolulu to the airport isn't very exciting. And for point of reference, there are two main terminals at Honolulu International Airport. There's the Hawaiian Airlines terminal and there's the other terminal for every other airline. The first thing that I want to say is the Hawaiian Airlines terminal is pretty confusing. We're travelling in the first class cabin, so we thought there might be a first class check-in area. We later found out that there was, but we simply couldn't find it. The upshot was we used the self-check-in kiosks before heading into this long queue for bag drop, and once we'd finally got to the front of the line, that is when we found out there was a first class check-in area. As we approached TSA, there was a first class line to the left and an economy line to the right. However, the first class line simply dropped you off in the line that everybody else was standing in anyway, so it wasn't much faster. And as you can imagine, I didn't film the TSA process at all. And that meant Fiona and I were now airside and looking for some lunch. And apart from a Burger King, the selection of restaurants weren't that great. However, Fiona and I did find a bar-stroke restaurant with waiter service, so we went in and had a burger, which from memory wasn't too bad. So straight after lunch, Fiona and I headed to the Hawaiian Airlines lounge here at Honolulu Airport. Yes guys, I believe this is the only airport that you can get access to a first class lounge when travelling first class with Hawaiian Airlines. And that sort of makes sense because Honolulu Airport is Hawaiian Airlines' main hub. But don't get too excited guys, because this is probably one of the worst airline lounges I've ever visited. The selection of food was non-existent and the coffee was just horrible and it was cold. And then the lounge itself was just dark and dingy. And the thing that I can't convey to you here in the channel was the smell. The air was just stale and it had a bit of a smoky after effect. Guys, it was pretty awful, and it clearly hadn't been cleaned in a while. So once Fiona and I cleared away the mess from the previous occupants of these seats, we get stuck into our cold coffee in these polystyrene cups. So premium certainly wasn't an adjective that you could use to describe the Hawaiian Airlines lounge at Honolulu Airport. The result was Fiona and I just left the lounge and made our way towards the gate. At least here, the air would be fresher and there was a view of the ramp. And it wasn't long until our flight was called for boarding, and with first class passengers being in boarding group 1, we got to board the aircraft first. And sitting in 1A, you're going to get some of the worst images outside an aircraft window I've ever brought you. And as you can see guys, as the jet bridge pulls back, this one was pretty bad. So as we make our way to the runway here at Honolulu on board this Hawaiian Airlines Boeing 717. I can only apologise for the poor quality of images that I'm bringing you here, but quite frankly guys, there is nothing I can do about it. These Boeing 717s being the backbone of the Hawaiian inter-island fleet, with an average age of between 19 and 25 years old at the time of making this episode. You would have thought Hawaiian would have plans to replace this old fleet of Boeing 717s, because at the end of the day, both Qantas and Delta were replacing theirs with Airbus A220s. As you can imagine, I was so disappointed at how badly scratched this window was. This would have been such a beautiful departure over Waikiki Beach, and I can only apologise guys that this video has been completely ruined by this appallingly badly scratched window on board this old Hawaiian Airlines 717. I'd also love to tell you about the fantastic onboard service, but I can't show you this service guys because there simply wasn't any. A 20-minute flight island hopping in Scotland and you would certainly get a cup of coffee and a chocolate biscuit. Even on a short 20 to 30 minute flight connecting the UK and Ireland, both EasyJet and Ryanair would do their best to get a trolley service done. I suppose we did have a big seat up front and that was something. As a result of how bad this was, I'm going to make the assumption that Hawaiian Airlines just don't care about inter-island hopping passengers, given the complete lack of competition. And given that our Hawaiian Airlines flight from Sacramento to Honolulu a week earlier was so good, in fact I even said it was probably one of the best flights we've ever had, I was just so disappointed with this short Hawaiian Airlines flight between Honolulu and Kona on the Big Island, which we're now approaching. I'd simply say the following: this route needs competition, and it needs competition badly. And at the point I'm editing this video, Alaska Airlines are currently in the middle of an acquisition of Hawaiian Airlines, but I am, however, concerned that the US government will block it, citing competition. But in a route where Hawaiian Airlines badly need this competition, I just hope that common sense prevails. I know. No. Puffs of something. Oh, the volcanic is very, very peppered. Here's the airport, that's it.
Kona here on Hawaii Island. We will be taxiing for the next few minutes. We are considering safety, remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and carry-on stowed until the aircraft comes to a complete stop at the gate and our captain turns off that fasten seatbelt sign. Before leaving us, check your seat area for any items you may have brought on board with you. Use caution when opening the overhead compartments as your items may have shifted during our flight. As you leave the aircraft, watch your step. There will be a floor-level change onto the ramp system. Use the handrails as you descend and avoid from walking beneath the wings abyss or the aircraft on the tarmac. Also continue to refrain from smoking until you're well within a designated smoking area. If you've gate checked for seats or strollers, allow our ground staff a few moments to make those available to you. They'll be brought to the bottom of the ramp. If you have requested wheelchair assistance, we ask you remain seated on board the aircraft until everyone else has exited. That way our porters can bring those wheelchairs all the way to the top of the ramp to meet the aircraft.
So that, guys, was our Hawaiian Airlines Boeing 717 experience in first class on the 13th of July 2024. The cabin crew were lovely, as you would expect from Hawaiian Airlines, but I will say that this was a very easy shift for them. So I was glad to get off this aircraft and make our way into the very unique airport that is Kona. But as I conclude this trip report on board Hawaiian Airlines inter-island hopping, would I recommend them? Well, guys, you've got absolutely no option but to use Hawaiian on a lot of the routes between the islands, especially between Honolulu and here in Kona, where there's no competition at all. Certainly not at the time of recording this episode. So as Fiona and I make our way into the really interesting terminal here at Kona, you'll be glad to hear it's time to bring this episode to a close. However, if this episode hasn't put you off and you'd like to continue to follow Fiona and I as we enjoy the next week here on the Big Island, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to be notified when our next video is published. Thank you so much for watching.